Your pet is a member of your family, which means that when you have an estate plan, your pet also needs to be cared for. So you need to make sure that when you are working with your estate planning attorney and providing them what your detailed wishes are, you need to have a large part that's carved out specifically for caring for your pet. This can be if you were to get sick, where would your pet go? If you were to pass away, who would take care of your pet? Are they going to be compensated? Are they going to be getting any type of inheritance for your pet to be able to make sure that your pet is taken care of in the manner that you would want them to be? In addition to that, when you're choosing these people, it's important to make sure that you actually have a conversation with them. Are they okay being in charge of your pet if something were to happen, that they would step in if you were to get sick or to pass away? Don't just put it in your plan without having a conversation with them first, because worst case scenario, if something happened to you, they don't actually have to be the one that takes your pet, and you may have no contingency at that point. So it's always best to have a conversation with them before and make sure that they are okay caring for your pet. Within your trust, it's also important to put specific instructions on how you want your pet to be cared for. This can be instructions that go very detailed as to who the veterinarian is, what type of food they eat, what type of exercise they get, when they go in for appointments, anything that if you were dropping your pet off at somebody's house to go on vacation, the level of detail that you would give to them at that point is the same thing that you should put in your estate planning documents. This is going to allow them to care for your pet with the minimal disruption as to be expected in this type of situation. When you're creating an estate plan, whether it's a will, a trust, or both, it's always important to make sure that you have specific instructions for your furry friends. And this will allow the court, if it is going through a will, to know how you want your pet to be cared for. If you have a trust, you are avoiding probate court, which means that your trustee is going to be responsible for making sure that they assign to who your pet is going to go to with the care instructions that you've provided. Oftentimes I see clients that want to provide some type of monetary value to those people that are taking over ownership of the pets if there is some type of illness or death. So it's important to think about how much is it actually going to cost for the life expectancy of your pet, right? How much do vet bills cost annually? Are there cleaning expenses that need to be done, caring for, grooming? How much does food cost? You're not trying to give somebody a burden by taking on your pet. And so this is an opportunity for you to realistically budget out how much will it realistically cost to keep this pet for the rest of their life, and providing them with that money to cover that, as well as, if you want to, additional money as maybe a thank you for saying, I appreciate you taking my pet if something were to happen to me, and this is how I'm showing that appreciation. There is a myth when it comes to pet trusts that somebody can just leave their entire estate to their pet. A pet can't actually inherit the money, but you can have a trustee that is there to care for the maintenance and support of the animal. So it's not necessarily that your pet's inheriting the money, but somebody's going to be managing it on their behalf, or somebody will be dedicated to caring for your pet. Now, if you're a horse person, you know that horses are very expensive. And when we work with clients that have horses, there is a lot of care and planning that go into estate planning for their horse friends. This is one where you will need to budget out exactly how much it will cost to care for the horse for the rest of the horse's life. In this, and I have worked with clients before, where we will put together an Excel spreadsheet and we will list out food, medication, vet cost, boarding cost, grooming cost, training, anything that is going to be done on an annual basis, and come up with that number. And what is the life expectancy of the horse, how they're being cared for right now. From there, you will increase it every year by 3 to 5% to be adjusted for inflation for the rest of the life expectancy of the horse. Then what happens when the horse isn't necessarily in the same regimen that it is right now? Maybe it's not doing the same type of training, right? Maybe now it's more of just a grazing horse that's out in a pasture, that's living its best life in its later years. What's the cost for that? Right? And then once you get this number, then it's making sure that your trustee has this horse care plan that will allow you to then say, okay, in my estate plan, here is this money that is dedicated to the support of my horse or horses, right? And you need to make sure that you have enough within your trust to be able to care for what that plan is going to look like for the entire horse's life.